Thank you, Chairman Cole and Ranking Member DeLauro, Chairman Joyce, Ranking Member Hoyer, for the opportunity to speak on the fiscal year, fiscal services, and general government appropriations bill. First, I'm grateful that this bill continues a long-standing bipartisan support for the Office of National Drug Control Policy Programs, including the HIDA and Drug-Free Communities Program. In Indiana's 1st Congressional District, the HIDA program provides Lake Porter and LaPorte counties with essential support to combat drug trafficking and address emerging threats. The Drug-Free Communities Program also helps communities across my district prevent youth substance abuse and reduce addiction. I know firsthand life-saving resources these programs provide, and I applaud the committee for recognizing the importance of these successful initiatives. However, I cannot support the overreaching legislation because it does nothing to lower the cost of living and benefits the wealthy over the working families. Specifically, the bill harms economic development through severe funding cuts to the Community Development Financial Institution, reducing their capability to provide financial services, loans, and affordable housing in low-income communities. It also slashes funds for the Small Business Administration, harming our ability to support small businesses, entrepreneurs that are striving to create work and wealth. The legislation further attacks American consumers by doubling down on efforts to weaken Consumer Finance Protection Bureau and limiting the Federal Trade Commission's capacity to increase competition and address fraud. Additionally, by gutting the funding of the IRS tax enforcement activities, the bill destroys efforts to ensure the wealthy and the corporations pay their fair share. Combined with the tax breaks for the wealthy, in the Republican Reconciliation Bill, these IRS cuts continue the majority's assault on American working families. The bill also poses risks to our democratic institutions by endangering our election security, failing to protect the federal workforce, and allowing DOGE and the Office of Management and Budget to continue to run unchecked. For example, cutting funding for the Election Assistant Commission when we face increasing election security threat diminishes voting rights access across the country. Indiana has utilized election security grants to help upgrade our state's election infrastructure. Instead of building on these critical investments, the bill decimates resources for the commission and underfunds these necessary grants. The bill fails to address the administration's ongoing attacks on the federal workforce, which have impacted countless civil servants in Indiana's 1st Congressional District. It further fails to impose need checks and balances on DOGE and OMB, as the agencies continue to violate our legal principles and freeze appropriated funds. The Financial Services and General Government Bill is intended to promote economic development, support our democratic institutions, and strengthen our federal government. Unfortunately, this bill fails to achieve these objectives and instead only makes the cost of living crisis worse. I urge my colleagues to reject this misguided legislation and work in a bipartisan manner to build an economy that works for all Americans. And I yield back.